Welcome to January's Easy Go Consumer Update for the Western U.S. Let's get started. Overall, January was a decent month for the region on the consumer side of the business. Before I dive into the top five, let me give you a couple of key important updates. A couple of weeks ago, TSV began adding the digital gauge to all RXV Freedoms going down the line. This is the same gauge that you find on the Express product. We will be introducing a new smart gauge in Q2 with full implementation of the smart gauge starting with model year 2025. Your RRMs will soon be available on Easy Connect. We will begin testing this function in the coming weeks with the intention of rolling this out to all of you around Q2. Of course, this is dependent on the testing going smoothly, but I am cautiously optimistic. We are still accepting April orders, so please get those submitted ASAP to secure your spot in line. We also have a newly announced limited run of Valors in Miami Blue. I've sent out an email regarding the requirements around this program. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a shout. All right, our top 5 dealers for the month. Leading the pack for January was A1 Golf Cars in Arizona, followed by Poli. Prestige had a solid January and finished barely above Caddyshack. There was a 3-way tie for 5th between Cartmart, Electric Motorsports, and Golf Cars and More. We also had several dealers that outpaced their January 2023 number. Well done to all of the dealers in the region, and as always, thank you for your hard work and dedication to the brand. Okay. A couple of years ago, we began introducing the concept of the scorecard. The goal behind the scorecard was to provide guidance to dealers with the idea that this would help elevate their brand. What I have seen is just that. There's some beautiful dealerships out there, and they provide a great presentation of the product. But this was just the first step. Now, many of you probably do some or all of the things that I'm going to discuss in the next 11 months, but the goal is that maybe, just maybe, an idea that is presented resonates with you and you apply that to your dealership. Most of you know me fairly well. These are not my ideas. This is just me utilizing my knowledge and understanding of my resources to provide you with some different thoughts or ideas of what I've seen work. I don't know everything, but I do know that it's vital for all of our success if we share the information that is out there and use things that make sense to you and your business. So, for the next 11 months, I'm going to introduce different topics around business strategies and selling, and hopefully take your dealership to the next level. I think the theme for this year is going to be culture. I want you to take a moment right now and think about the culture of your dealership. I think we forget sometimes that we're in the recreational business. I've been in the recreational business for my entire career, and I've got to say that sometimes I forget that this is actually supposed to be fun. There are a couple of fun purchases that people get to make in their lives, right? A house, a car, maybe a boat. Well, an Easy Go PTV is also one of those purchases. So, is your dealership making a fun and memorable experience for that customer that walks in the door? Are you and your staff excited and motivated to be there? During my next visits to all of you, I'm going to talk about the sales triangle. No, this is not Phil Jackson's triangle offense, but it might be close. I believe that all of you can implement this strategy regardless of the size and scale of your dealership. So what is a sales triangle? We need to think about 3 key departments within your dealership that customers will be in direct contact with. I get that sometimes it's 1 or 2 people maybe, but I still believe this applies. And I'm talking about sales, parts and accessories, and service. Every customer that buys a PTV from your dealership should meet the key point of contact in each of these departments. Obviously, starting with sales. Whether or not it's the owner or the sales professional on the floor, this is where it starts. This person should be gathering information, personal information, as they are selling the vehicle. I'm a firm believer that people prefer to buy from people they know and trust. So if you're building that relationship with that customer, they're going to be more likely to buy from you. So make sure that you're taking diligent notes about this customer. Do they have kids? Are the kids grown? Do they golf? What type of clubs do they play? Where do they play? Etc. Having this information, I think, is the first step. Saving and utilizing this information is the next. I'm guessing that those of you that have a CRM are not using it to its full capabilities. This is a great tool to capture details about your customer that you can utilize later when they call in for service or have questions about P&A. Whoever that customer contacts should be able to know everything about that customer. What vehicle did they purchase? How many times has it been in for service? Is it due for service? Providing that exceptional experience can be easy if you're utilizing the tools that are out there. I would be shocked if the container car dealer down the street provides any type of level of this service. And we'll dive deeper into CRMs in future updates, but if you do have any questions, let me know. We can talk about it. So, after the sale is complete, we're still in the triangle, right? After that sale is complete, that salesperson should be taking this customer to the parts and accessories section of the dealership. This is a great opportunity to upsell the customer on additional accessories. And they have another point of contact within the dealership. From there, the customer should be taken to the service department. This is a great opportunity to sell a service package or VIP program or whatever you have to this customer. For our seasonal dealers out there, do you offer winterizing or summarizing? And I'm not saying this, making a summary of things. I'm taking in the summertime. Sometimes it gets hot. Do you have a program or storage or things that you can advise on that you can sell to that customer? If you don't, maybe you should consider it. Okay, let's take a minute and talk tech and how we can use that in our day-to-day sales. Samsung. Yeah, it's about choosing a partner, not just a battery. No other company has a relationship like EasyGo TSV really does with Samsung SDI. Many of you have heard me say this, but we are on our second generation of battery with Samsung SDI, and we're working on the third. We have a long-standing relationship with one of the largest manufacturers of batteries in the world. Some of the import companies are using batteries with a warranty that is longer than the company is old. I've also heard of a third party handling the warranty for some of these container cars. Is that something that's sustainable? And what does that customer experience look like? This is another talk track that I think you can use to keep that customer coming back to you for everything. A good key to competitive selling is planting seeds of doubt. Sure, Company X has cool looking product. And yes, maybe it's cheaper, but where do those batteries come from? And do they meet any type of standards for lithium ion batteries? This is not one of those, lithium is just lithium conversations. No. There are some significant differences when it comes to this technology. The composition of the minerals that are used. I mean, you can really go down a rabbit hole with these. But I think if we keep it simple and just start planting those seeds of doubt and asking these questions, it could be beneficial to you. Is the manufacturer of these batteries visible on the cell itself, right? Is it a recognized brand? I've seen some strange brands out there that are on battery packs and never heard of them before. All of the thermal events, too, that I'm aware of are due to drop-in batteries that do not have the synchrony between all of the important components of the vehicle, meaning that someone will drop in a lithium battery that's not one with the BMS, the controller, and the battery itself. So what does that process look like from these container cars? I've definitely seen some drop-ins on some of these cars as well that don't come from the quote-unquote manufacturer. I do know that the engineers at EasyGo and Samsung have created that unity, assuring that the vehicle that you drive today will last for many years to come with no fear of failure. Numbers, love numbers. We have north of 300,000 units in the field and over 88 million hours of service with less than a 0.05% failure rate. Do you know any other PTV manufacturer with those kind of numbers? Okay, that does it for our January update. As always, please feel free to give me a shout if you need anything from me.